Welcome to R&R's Ask the Expert. I'm your host, Mildred Ingram, R&R's Editor-in-Chief. And today I'm joined by Stefan Figley, the Brand President of 1-800-Packouts. Stefan, could you provide a brief overview of your background and expertise?
Sure. So I'm the president of 1-800-Packouts. We focus on content management within the restoration world. I've had a quick highlight. I've been in the restoration industry for well over 7 years, all in the franchising environment. So the business side of that, I've been in franchising for over 15 years, a certified franchise executive. And prior to that, I've been on the marketing and executive side for businesses and even the agency side from the marketing perspective. So my 3 decades of work have taken me in a couple of different areas, but all combined to be right here.
Perfect. And also really thank you for joining us, if I forgot to say that.
Oh, absolutely. Glad to be here.
So, excuse me. Today, I want to discuss the importance of training and trust when building a business, but also as it pertains to the customers and those on the front lines, the people that they come in contact with. So I know 1-800-Packouts is a leader in content and personal property restoration and has been since 2016. Regarding the topic at hand, how would you say the company handles training and building trust with employees and clients?
Sure. So with employees, as a franchise business, our employees are franchise owners for the most part. So we have this dual impact of folks joining and signing up, starting their own business. Some are in the industry or have a knowledge of our restoration industry, and some are coming in from the outside of our industry. Mm-hmm. And so part of it for us goes into building the confidence for those new owners to enter our industry and be successful. There's so much work for all of us. We all know about it. We all talk about the growth of the industry, et cetera. That's fantastic. As we have more people coming in, it's great. So as a brand, it's our job to make sure we've trained our individuals to design and build a very strong business so they're successful. At the same time, their business is successful because they help end clients with a disaster situation. So there's a dual impact on that training. And part of it is the physical aspect of what to do and how to do it that's proper for our industry. Making sure we can get everything done for our partners in the mitigation and remediation side, get everything set for the client and the end customer, but also the carriers and the TPAs, so to make sure that they're taken care of and they know everything that's going on and it's going on properly. So we want to make sure our owners and our quote, if you would, our employees, they are owners. It's their business. We want to make sure they're successful, and that's part of being successful is to make sure that it runs all the way through the gamut. So we train that element in our kickoff before they open, and it's a crucial. We also have online training that's available for them. We ask our owners to go through the online training before they even come to our physical 1-week training before we immerse them. So they've already been warmed up to it. They've already been practicing on our tools, Xactimate, the InCircle we have a use for the inventory. So they've already been practicing before they even show up to train. And we've seen 1 or 2 that didn't do their practice homework. And, we have to make sure they're doing the homework during the training so that they're really prepared for it.
Right. That's awesome. So what about ongoing support after training? How does 1-800-Packouts navigate that aspect once the initial training is over?
Sure. We never stop. Training can't stop. There's no, and you can ask anybody in the industry, and I've been in the industry for some time, and there's a lot of folks that have been in it longer than me, and I learn from them every time I'm engaged with them. The thing is we can't predict everything. There is no chance. And part of it is if we've trained our folks correctly, they will be able to adapt and be able to perform accordingly with the rules of the industry to be able to handle what's necessary to be handled from the business side as well as the policyholder. So in doing that, we open up our network for the communication. One of the huge benefits of being in a franchise network is you have other owners that are engaged in all these jobs on a regular basis.
Right.
And they hear, see all sorts of different aspects. So we have encouraged and continue to encourage the storytelling of unique situations and jobs so that we all can learn from it. Whether it be, and we would be happy, we've shared this with carriers and adjusters so that they also learn to be able to be flexible in how certain things might happen on a job site.
Right.
So that's one way that we keep training, if you would. The other area is we've been launching embedded training, where we have our franchise owners that are willing to open up time on ride-alongs with their teams. And at first, I was a little bit nervous and said, what do I have to offer my franchisees to be able to say they'll do this a couple times a year? And I'm talking 2 to 3 days a year. Ride along, get on the truck, get out on a job, go to a claim, estimate the claim, work with the policyholder, pack it out, bring the contents back, clean it, every aspect of our business. And I've had over 50% of my franchisees raise their hand and volunteer to open up their doors to other franchisees in the business to be able to come and do an embedded training to get a different view to try and continue to learn. And so that's rolling out for us and launching here very shortly.
Mhm.
So that's that ongoing training that's available to our franchisees. And then finally, it's putting in the right people. I have 3 franchise business coaches on staff. They work with all of our franchisees on a regular basis. They have touch point calls, standard, just checkpoints, making sure everything's flowing. They engage in estimating training. They engage in in-field training, questions. And so all of that is it's constant. It never stops.
Mhm.
And I think if you looked around the industry, not just at our business, at others, you're going to see the exact same thing. The folks that are doing it, that have great reviews, that are performing the right way, they are training on a regular basis to all of their employees, all their owners, everybody related to their business.
Full circle, hands-on training, hands-on and, and virtual. That is great. That is
Yeah,
so
it has to
great.
be, you got to touch and feel, right?
Yeah.
I know we're in a virtual world now, we're moving into it, but in restoration, it's real. And
Exactly.
we gotta touch it. Everybody in this industry would know, it knows that they're working it. They've been in the field. They know what Cat 3 water is. They know what mold looks like and why and how to deal with it. I mean, this is what we train folks to do. It's why they're certified in these elements. And it just continues to move. But our stuff happens in the real world.
Yeah.
We can talk about it virtually, but we have to be able to execute in the real world.
Exactly. So working with clients who are typically dealing with loss of different magnitudes, how important are those soft skills like empathy when speaking with and going through the process with clients? Is there a special training for that?
That's interesting. We just had our national meeting and that was a topic. Do we need to do empathy training? Which I've been around in franchise and nobody's ever done empathy training that I've seen. You get it, people have it. It's kind of how they've been raised, how they've grown up, what they've done in their careers, it seems like. So when we look at new franchises, that is an element that is considered. Can they execute in the situation of this type of an industry? Because that'll relate to success in the long run for us. So that is one criteria. It's not the only, it's one. But that's something that, I think we need to start working on more and more around empathy, how to address the concerns of folks in this situation. They don't understand it. We do it day in and day out. Everybody in our industry knows it inside and out. We speak the language, the lingo, the abbreviations,
Right.
we do everything, right? We throw them out there. Maybe finance might be one. Someone told me finance has more acronyms than maybe restoration. We just throw it out there and that's it. It's easy for us. It's Cat 3 water, whatever. I mean, and homeowners, like, what does that mean?
What is that? Yeah, they're
And,
like, I guess I lost
everybody's dressed,
everything. What's
everybody's dressed up in
that?
PPE, and the homeowner's over there going, wait a second, what just happened? So, maybe, for us, one of the things, we're about to take their possessions, right? We deal with the content. We pack it out, we clean it, we prepare it to be brought back and ready as it was prior. So for us, we are about to take their possessions. It is on us to explain maybe what's happening, what we're going to do. And that's some of the elements that we do teach franchise owners in the field. Tell them, walk them through what you're about to do, help manage some of those expectations. Understand that this is very unique for them. Even though you may be on your 50th job or claim, they're probably on their first. And hopefully they don't have a second. And so then how do you relate to them? How do you help them understand it? They'll start panicking around certain issues. They're not getting contact from an adjuster. They're not getting contact from us. They're not getting contact from the contractor, the mitigation contractor. How can we help them understand that? And many of our owners try to help bridge some of those gaps if they're lacking. But at the same time, take that under an understanding, not get frustrated with the homeowner or the policy holder. Work with them in this situation to be able to resolve it, ease their mind, and show them the timing and how this can work for them. And so, is it necessary? Yeah, I think it's major. We're on the forefront of it. We got to do more of it, but I think a lot of us in the industry could think about it to try and address how we can do that.
Oh yeah, it's really big, and I think across many different industries, it's definitely something that needs to be implemented because the hard and soft go together.
Right.
But okay, so you have given us a lot of great information. So before we go, I know that there is a children's book geared towards helping littles understand and cope with loss situations. And as we mentioned before we got on the call, my son actually has a copy that I got for him from a trade show. Could you tell us a bit about the book?
Yes, absolutely. So we all think about the policyholder as an adult, the homeowner. And as a disaster happens, fire or water or tornado, all sorts of disasters. The children and the littles, as we say, are impacted by this. Their world is really centered around potentially something that they know very well, which is, we'll call it their lovey, if you would, or their favorite toy. And sometimes that toy has to get taken to be cleaned, sanitized, cleaned, readied, because of the situation. And now for them, it could spin them in a direction, and what's happening, their world's kind of turned upside down. They're in a different place, not their home. Now their main toy or lovey is not available. Why? And so we had the book designed, and we have two versions, one boy, one girl. And it kind of walks through the process. It's a children's book, as you said. It's a big picture book, very basic in story, but it's a picture book. And it talks about their toy and that it's going to get taken care of and it's going to get back to them. But it's something that we've started to roll back out this year. Some of the partners in the industry have really enjoyed it and liked it. Their children like it, but they also know that it can go and really help show and maybe breathe a little bit of air and calmness back into somebody who's had such a tragedy. And so we're really proud of that. We've gotten great response from it. Like you said, the first book that I handed out in March, the next day it was to an agent, an insurance agent, and she had a little girl, and she came back and said, we spent 2 hours looking through the book last night, and she showed me pictures of it. And that's really encouraging because that is what the intent is. And now we want to make sure we can keep getting that to policyholders and so forth, just trying to ease a little bit, put a little extra comfort in there. as we all go through this process, and try to help them get back to their normal life.
Absolutely. And it will be, and hopefully it's okay with you guys, but I have even posted on my LinkedIn a picture of my son reading the book. So I will be having it over us speaking as like a, like B-roll, just so that you guys
Awesome.
can physically see this book. It is really great. I don't know if it's for purchase or whatnot, but you should see it. It is a really nice book. And again, hopefully, no one wants to ever go through things like this, but it is so great to even think about even the policyholder again, even as being an adult, more ways to even help them. Because sometimes we don't know what's going on as adults. It's our first time. We don't really know exactly how to explain it to our children. And it's super helpful. It's really cute. It's a really cute book, guys.
Great. Thank you.
Stefan, thank you for your insight. Before we go, where can our listeners connect with you or learn more about 1-800-PACKOUTS?
Easy, the web, right? We're virtual. 1-800-PACKOUTS.com. It's one of the privileges of having a name that's 1-800 something is it's not that hard to remember. So easy way, 1-800-PACKOUTS.com, hit the info button. Be happy to get in touch with anybody that has any questions in any types of aspects, business orientation, what's going on in our world. Happy to jump in and have conversations with folks. So easy way, 1-800-PACKOUTS, and it'll get to me, I promise.
Thank you. And for more insights on restoration, remediation, and the people behind it all, visit our website, rnrmagonline.com. We're also available on Apple or Spotify for the podcast. And if you haven't yet, be sure to follow the podcast to keep up with our latest episodes and give us a quick review and rating. We're also on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook, so we invite you to follow us there too. And this is another great episode of R&R's Ask the Expert.
Thanks, Mildred.
Thank you.